And Donald Trump is back in court right now for day 15 of his hush money election interference trial. And over the past hour, there's been a lot of testimony about phone records of key players like David Pecker and Michael Cohen. Before that, former Trump White House aide Madeleine Westerhout finished her time on the stand, testifying about everything from how close she worked with Trump early in his presidency, including how Trump reacted. She says he was, quote, very upset when Stormy Daniels' story became public. And Westerhout also testified about a key White House meeting in 2017 between Donald Trump and his former fixer and lawyer, Michael Cohen. Cohen himself, the marquee witness for the prosecution, is expected to take the stand on Monday, and his testimony could last several days. This after Stormy Daniels sparred with Donald Trump's attorney yesterday during the cross-examination after being accused of profiting off her encounter with Donald Trump. Daniels posting on social media following her testimony, quote, "Real men respond to testimony by being sworn in and taking the stand in court. Oh. Wait, never mind." And here's Donald Trump as he headed into court this morning.
This case is highly unconstitutional. It's presided over by a very conflicted judge, conflicted like I've never seen before. He refuses to take himself off the case, and it should be a mistrial.
And joining us now from the courthouse, NBC News correspondent Von Hilliard, who's standing by. Also with us this hour, Catherine Christian, former Manhattan Assistant District Attorney, and Duncan Levin. He's a current criminal defense attorney and a former Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. Thank you all for joining us. And let me start with you, Catherine. We're hearing today from a bunch of witnesses, it appears, who are kind of custodial witnesses, right, talking about phone records. There was somebody from AT&T, somebody from Verizon. Right now, I believe it's still Georgia Longstreet who's testifying. If that name sounds familiar to our viewers, it's because she's been on the stand already once earlier in this trial, and she's a paralegal from the district attorney's office as they continue to admit some different phone records, some text messages, that sort of thing. So what is the prosecution trying to do with these particular witnesses?
Well, they're very important witnesses. They may be boring, though these text messages aren't boring. But before that, the call logs, the call detailed, because they help establish, well, first of all, they're necessary witnesses because they're authenticating the documents that are coming in, the call records that are coming in, the subscriber information is coming in. And they're also, these are messages that corroborate basically Stormy Daniels. You know, her cross-examination was very blistering, but you have her manager, Ms. Rodriguez, and the editor-in-chief at the National Enquirer talking about the negotiations that Stormy Daniels referred to, going through that whole time period all the way up until after the Access Hollywood tape in October, and corroborating that they were dealing with. Now, Trump's name is not mentioned in any of those texts, so, of course, the defense attorneys will point that out, but those are very important. And they also corroborating Michael Cohen, because it was his phone where those call detail and call log data was coming from. So that will corroborate him, and he's expected to testify on Monday. Boring, but important.
And so because, I was going to ask about that, because these witnesses are a little bit drier, Duncan, is it hard for an attorney, or how does an attorney keep the jury really engaged?
Well, what's interesting is that in most cases, these are the types of witnesses that are stipulated to by both sides.
Stipulated meaning you don't even see them.
Yeah,
not in Manhattan.
But not in Manhattan.
Court, not
Sometimes
in Manhattan.
not.
Okay.
Exactly. So Trump is not. But what's interesting is that Trump has not stipulated to any of these witnesses, and yet he likes to go out and complain that this trial is keeping him off the campaign trail. This is an area where he could shorten the trial if he wanted to, but he hasn't chosen to do that. And so these witnesses are, while they are boring, they are very important because it's not an accident that the DA's office is waiting to call Michael Cohen until a little bit later, because he's one of the most, if not the most problematic witness, and they want to wait until they have basically laid down all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle until they get to him, because when they get to him, he's going to be subject to a blistering cross-examination, and they will have established all the minutia at that point, all the little pieces that corroborate what he's about to testify to on Monday in his direct examination.